Hello there. I'm going to do a brand new installation of Yurbi. It's going to take about 5 minutes, but a lot of that time you can multitask and have a sip of coffee. It's going to start by downloading our installation file. You'll get that from our website by registering for a trial or working with our support team. Generally, there's two files. There's an installation file and then another file for updates and patches. In this case, I'm just going to do the installation file, show you the process. And what I'm going to do is instead of double clicking, I'm going to right click and say run as an administrator. So you do have to have administrator access on your Windows server. I'm actually using a brand new Windows 2019 data center server. And when you do that run as administrator, you'll get this Windows Defender warning. Click on the more info and then you'll get the run anyway and be able to proceed with the installation. So the install is very quick. First, we're going to check and see if you have all the prerequisites in place. And you see on a brand new server, we need this Visual C++ redistributable package. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. That's going to be a pretty fast installation. Everything is relative to the memory and the CPU of your server. But now you'll see it's jumping into an install shield wizard, which will take you through the rest of the installation. So I'm going to hit next. There's really only one decision or two decisions to make during the installs. It's very easy. One, your directory that you want to install to. By default, it's going to be the program files in your C drive, but you may put all your applications on a D or E or other drive. So you can make that change here. I'll click next for the C drive in my case. And this is the primary decision. Yurbi has a back-end database where we store all of the metadata and security and things like that. And we give you two options. There's the embedded PostgreSQL database, and then there's a choice of using a Microsoft SQL database. So if you are a Microsoft SQL shop, if you have a Microsoft SQL database under production control with backup and recovery in place, then we're going to recommend that you use Microsoft SQL as the backend for Yurbi. If you don't, if you're not a Microsoft SQL shop, you don't have any Microsoft SQL, then the PostgreSQL option works perfectly. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and install Yurbi with that embedded database. Click Next. And now we're just going to start the installation. Now, the first step of this installation, again, we're going to go through and check out all the prerequisites. So I have not configured IIS or anything on this server. The install shell is going to run a script. It's going to do a whole lot of checks behind the scene to see if IIS is installed. If not, it's going to activate it. So I'm going to go through and check if all the features that we need in IIS are enabled. And then if it's not, it's going to go ahead and do that. So it's going to take a period of time, generally depending on your server speed. This could take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. So this is the time in the install where I like to make infinity movements with my mouse and kind of have a moment of meditation, or I just go to another screen and do something else or go get some coffee. So I'm going to pause. I'm just going to be quiet while this proceeds, and we're going to speed this part up in the video. Okay, and we're back, and you'll see it just finishes and comes right into the wizard complete message. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And normally, as I mentioned, you would have an update file with the latest patches and fixes. We highly encourage you to put that on because, of course, we have patches and fixes in those. You would just right click on that and run as administrator as well. But the very first time after you do all your installation, the first thing you're going to do is open up your web browser and activate your trial version or license of Yurbi. Normally, I would recommend going to your desktop and doing that. We're going to do it on the server in this case, but if you are doing it on the server and you're using Internet Explorer, make sure you turn off that enhanced security. So you'll see I've already done that. It says is not enabled. If that is enabled, we do recommend that you go ahead and turn that off. So let me go ahead and make my window bigger. You're going to go, if you're from your desktop, you'll do http:// your server name and /Yurbi. I'm going to do localhost since I am on the server itself. So localhost/Yurbi. Now, the first time I run this, it's going to take about a second or two before it displays a login page. IIS has to wake up and set up all of its app pool and things like that. It'll be much faster the next time. But you'll see when you first log in, the default user name is admin. and the default password is Yurbi. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the login, and you're going to see that a yellow bar will appear and say that you're in. You have to complete some steps before you can start to use Yurbi. And if that's your traditional read and accept the terms and conditions, and of course, I would recommend that you read them carefully. And I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and click the I accept. Uh, Next, to finish the activation, you're going to put in your email address, a business address. It does have validation checking to see if it's a valid address. But the key with this email address is we're going to send you tips to help you on board and how to start to set up Yurbi for your environment, how to connect to your data, how to build reports and those sorts of things. So you can always unsubscribe, but it's important to put your email address here so you get those emails and they just don't go into the dustbin. Now you'll notice that if I hover over this, I've got connection success. That means that this server is connected to the internet. It is talking directly to our license manager server. So I can just put in my email address. If you are offline, that means that you're not connected to the internet. Then you will have to go through the upload activation file method, and you can contact us at support@yurbi.com, and we'll send you a key that you could then upload into that. So I'm going to put in my work email and click finish. It's going to communicate out with our license manager server and finish this activation. We'll give that a couple seconds. And now you'll see that the activation has completed, and it's going to take me into Yurbi, and I am installed, ready to go. And you'll see right out the box it's installed in demo mode. So we've got an environment for you to play around with, but you can then turn that off and start to connect it to your data sources. All right, hope this helped. If you do have any questions or issues, please contact us at support@yurbi.com or visit our support portal at support.yurbi.com.